Good morning, everybody. Kalimera. Welcome everybody to this webinar. It's 10:30 in my country, and as scheduled, we'd like to start for this new webinar in this early morning. Well, thank you everybody for your participation joining this webinar. I will quickly introduce myself. I am James Roos. I am working for EnGenius as product manager now for almost 4 years. Always have been working since 15 years in IT, and I joined EnGenius because I believe that EnGenius is we can give something special to the field here. So let's just start with our presentation today, and our presentation for today is titled EnGenius Neutron Solution Powered by EasyMaster. As I explained in the invitation mail, we are going to have 3 webinars dedicated to EasyMaster. This webinar is part 1, which is the introduction to the Neutron solution powered by EasyMaster. So let's start for today, and I would like to start this presentation with actually a question. It's like, well, the question is, why do we have Neutron solution powered by EasyMaster? Because to have a managed wireless solution and a deployment is one thing, but if my deployment is not in one place, and what if I want to manage my deployment from another place, and what if my deployment is exceeding my controller's capacity? What if I want to have a managed solution, but I only have limited budget? Well, the answer is we're going to given today in this presentation. The answer is our EnGenius Neutron solution powered by EasyMaster. So the topics for today, if my presentation wants to go to the next slide. So, like I said, this webinar is the first of the webinars out of 3 dedicated to the Neutron solution. And in this webinar, we will give you an introduction of the EWS solution and talking about the points displayed. And the following webinar, the 2 out of 3 is hands-on, and the third one will be a webinar which we go through all the features of the Neutron solution, or actually the Neutron solution plus the EasyMaster. Okay, so the agenda today, first we want to go we will answer the question, why do I need a managed network? And we will explain what is EnGenius Neutron series, and on top of that, what is the EasyMaster on top of the Neutron solution. We'll point out the benefits, the 4 big benefits that we have in EasyMaster. We will quickly point out the target market, the target customer profile, and especially the target deployment. And at the end, we will quickly go through the product lineup. So let's start with our first topic. Why do I need a managed wireless solution? I think the most important thing for a managed wireless solution is the optimization and the stabilization of your network. You have to imagine that interference with our own network internally, or even caused from external sources, overloading, disconnections, we all have experienced this. But with a managed Wi-Fi network, we can reduce many of these problems. You can create a much more stable environment when you let access points work together. And to let the access points work together, you need a central system that will help all these access points to communicate with each other. So the second thing is, you might want to have this system to do something extra. Well, especially our EasyMaster, which is actually an upgrade of our Neutron solution, because we want to, I will explain later, we want to have more power into our management system. Especially EasyMaster is dedicated to do background scanning. Based on background scanning, there are some functions that will help you to actively manage the network and optimize and stabilization. So based on background scanning, we have channel and power adjusting. So a managed network will collect information to optimize the wireless network. And based on this information, the system can automatically adjust the settings with the parameters that you set. Another thing, fast roaming. With a managed Wi-Fi network, you can easily set up a large network using multiple access points. And because the access points communicate with each other, they can kind of pass over the clients without, as a client, the need of selecting a new access point manually. Of course, it doesn't really pass over, but the access point will communicate the information to let the client be already authenticated to the next access point. A few other points for the reasons why you need a managed wireless solution. Balancing and shaping. A managed network has multiple functions that enables you to distribute loading of your network evenly. This will optimize the speed of your Wi-Fi network. Another thing, central and remote management. It is not necessary anymore to configure access points one by one. You can create a group, you could create and you configure a group, and each AP you add to the group will inherit the settings of the group. So you can create different groups which share the same settings, and you can configure this in a central place from a remote location. In this way, you can save money and improve your efficiency by remote management. Another thing, and I also have a star in here, is a captive portal. You have to understand that we have our EasyMaster, our Neutron solution, which I'll explain more detailed in the coming slides. We have our Neutron solution with access points and controller switch. And we have now our EasyMaster, and the EasyMaster is a software. The switch is limited to the power of the switch, the CPU and the memory inside. We have the switch will depend on these resources. With EasyMaster, you will have more power, so there's more resources to roll out different functions. So in EasyMaster, we also include captive portal. So especially for guests on your network, with captive portal, you can create a web page with your company profile or special promotion, something which customer will see automatically before they want to connect to internet. And you can set up a login page, and when the user logs in correctly, he can connect to the internet. Optionally, first, you can also direct the customer first to your homepage before it goes to instead of going to Google or something. And the last thing, which is very nice to have, which is a nice feature that you have in a managed wireless solution, is of course the overview. Since you are on one central place and the access points are everywhere in the whole building, but since you are there or logged in from a remote place, you have an overview, and from this place you can do the configuration, and everything becomes more quicker and becomes better, and above all, it becomes more easy with EasyMaster. So what is our EnGenius Neutron series powered by EasyMaster? Please note here that I have colored EasyMaster in gold color here, because like I said, we have our Neutron solution with on top the EasyMaster. You can use EasyMaster, the Neutron solution based on controller switch and access points. But on top of that, you can also have EasyMaster. You can have the EasyMaster software running, and there are some functions that are embedded in the EasyMaster and some functions not. I will come back to that later. But I have put EasyMaster in gold here, referring to the other functions here, which is the difference that the EasyMaster will bring on top of the hardware Neutron solution. So what is the Neutron series? It's an AP managed solution, and where you have management switches which manage the connected access points from a central place. Okay, so it's a distributed network management solution. We have an all-in-one switch. I will explain in the next slide. And we have indoor and outdoor managed access points. And if you are working with a hardware-based access point, hardware-based deployment without the EasyMaster, you can manage 50 access points per Neutron switch. If you use EasyMaster, you are already extended to manage up to 1000 access points and even cross subnet, meaning that you don't have to be exactly in the same subnet to do the management. You can do the management from any other place in the world, as long as you have a proper internet connection to the to the access point or to the switch which you want to manage. So in general, this deployment is for small and medium offices, hospitality, hotel, cafe, and education. Main key point here is that it is very easy to install, and also the configuration and monitoring is very easy to use. If you compare with enterprise level solutions, you maybe have to follow first a course to get certified to be able first to work with those sophisticated managed systems. But especially in smaller deployments, where you have deployments with up to 1000 access points in different places, our Neutron series powered by EasyMaster is the most efficient solution that you can have. Okay, coming back to the switches, as I mentioned, it's an all-in-one switch, and the basis of our switch is this idea. We want to have a solution that you can start with only one device that does give the controller function, which is the backbone switch, and which already give power to the access points. So with this idea, we have our EasyMaster, our Neutron switch based on a PoE switch. So it's the controller model is built into a PoE switch, meaning that we have a one device solution, which includes the controller built into the switch, which is already a PoE switch. This means that if you have one switch, you just power it up with one power cable, and you connect the amount of access points by PoE and wired to that switch, you have your Neutron solution hardware done. Okay, other brands have maybe separate controller, and then you still have to buy a separate switch, or maybe you have a first switch and then you have another PoE switch, and you are stacking up your rack and making it full, while you can do it in one device. So an overview of the components, like I said. So we have a switch, and the second component is the access points, and we have both indoor and outdoor models. At the end of the presentation, I will just go to the lineup of the models. And I just like to mention here that only manageable APs, like we call it, our series is the EWS APs, can be managed by the management switch. But if you have an EWS access point, you can still put it into standalone mode. So for this presentation, I would like to announce that on top of this hardware components of switches and access points, we will have EasyMaster, which is the software controller to extend the functionality of our Neutron switches. So what exactly can our Neutron series do? In this slide, I want to point out where is the function of our EWS solution. Okay, like I said, the EWS series is a managed access point solution where an EWS switch manages the functions of the access points in a central place. Let me see if this, okay. So the management function is between the switch, EWS management switch, and the access point. So this is exactly where our EWS Neutron solution is working in a total network deployment. Okay, if you only talk about the EWS management switch, then we are here in this place. Later, if we talk about the EasyMaster, then you will see that the EasyMaster can be placed anywhere, but still manage the access points that are in your network. And so the main functions that the EWS does, the Neutron series does, is AP auto discovery, provisioning, wireless configuration, monitoring, and controlling the access point. Additional network services are not integrated in the management switch. So, and we believe that certain functions should be done by dedicated devices, functions like the traditional fast roaming, authentication, billing, captive portal, logging, and UTM functions. These should be done by these dedicated devices like a firewall, like Sonic Wall or something, or the logging service like Ucopia, or a combination of those services. Those things, there are separate dedicated brands that are working on this. The only thing that our EasyMaster now can do is captive portal. That's some function that we have built in, and because it's proven, many customers are asking for this. So we managed to build it in, and you already have a captive portal just to be able to make a simple system all-in-one to also include this. Fast roaming, the traditional fast roaming using authentication server, yeah, of course has to go through the authentication server, but we have the latest protocol of fast roaming without the use of an authentication server. We have this built in. Okay, so if you talk about the Neutron series hardware-wise, we have a set of features here. So this slide shows the full list of functions of the Neutron series, Neutron solution based on the hardware. And so basically it's a managed wireless solution consisting out of two different components, where competitors need 3 or 4 components. And so it consists of indoor and outdoor managed access points and wireless management switches. In this slide, I only want to remark one thing, because in the next presentation we will go through the whole functions. There are a few functions that are displayed in a gold color. These are functions that are recently built into the system, and I want to say here that all the firmware upgrades, we are continuously improving our system, and all the firmware upgrades and upgrades of functionality, they are free, available to download Unlike some other brands, once you want to upgrade your system, you have to pay for another upgrade. You have to pay for it. And for us, all the firmware and upgrades are free, available to download. So, like I said, we have the hardware, and now we have also EasyMaster. What is EasyMaster? I call EasyMaster the Neutron series evolution, because we have a hardware platform, and now we have a software that upgrades our Neutron solution to be more functional. And to explain what exactly is the EasyMaster, well, EasyMaster is a Linux-based program that needs to be installed on a server, and you can put the server locally, or you can put it in any place, but that I'll explain later. And from here you can manage multiple Neutron access points and switches from worldwide. And this is one of the main features. First of all, it's a free software. It will be available for download for free, and you can install it on the system. Of course, the system is not, the PC will not be free, but you can download the free software to run on your system, or even you can, in the future, we will also release a version that you can put in the cloud. And yeah, so it's a free software, and the main feature is that it has multi-site management, because we have the cross-subnet capability. So that means that, like in the picture shown here, from one central place, you can manage and integrate multiple EWS setups over the internet, meaning that you can remotely manage all the sites in one place, and you can manage up to 1,000 access points. Another thing is that we have the Smart Sync and easy redundancy, which makes our system more reliable, because we are building in redundancy services and functions to make our management more reliable. So reliability is one of the unique points of our total solution, but starting from the first one, scalability. We have scalability, we have mobility, affordability, and reliability. So we integrated the controller into a L2 PoE switch. With one switch and a few access points, you already have a complete features managed wireless solution without the need for extra hardware or software. So you can scale up the solution up to 1,000 access points with our free EasyMaster software. You can have the EasyMaster running locally, remotely, or remotely in the cloud for total mobile access. And EnGenius Neutron series is without additional licenses, maintenance or support fees. Everything is free, and the EasyMaster software comes free of charge, no matter how many devices you want to manage. The only thing you need to afford is the Neutron hardware. With the EasyMaster in combination with the Neutron Switch, you have redundant network control, but even when losing connection with the controllers or access points, the access point will still keep doing their jobs in a reliable way. So these 4 points, to go more detailed into these 4 points, scalability, the basic setup, like I said, I recommend to use a Neutron solution starting from 4 access points. If you have a smaller deployment, then I would recommend to use just a standalone setup with WS mode or something. because then you don't need to have something additionally because you only have 1 or 2 access points. But maybe 3, 4 access points is good to start with. And in this slide you see the basic setup with the 1 management switch and 4 access points wired to the switch. And if you use the entry-level model switches, you can manage up to 20 access points. In this exact setup with 4 access points, you are able to cater about 80 simultaneous users. I use this 80 here because I always want to present you a number which is 100% realistic. Please keep in mind that all numbers and values in this presentation, I want to make a realistic number. The real number is probably much higher because supposedly you can at least connect 30, 40 clients to each radio of an access point. But to have a really reliable speed and reliable throughput to give no hiccups in any connection, YouTube or streaming or other heavy applications, I like to use a realistic number. So in this case, especially if I want to make if I want to give advice or I'm calculating a deployment, then I use realistic numbers. So in this case, I use 20 concurrent users for an access point. So in this case, 1 switch, 4 access points, 80 simultaneous users. So starting from this basic setup, you can extend this deployment to make use of the 20 access point management capability of the switch. So you can add a few more access points, and even further, if you are short in cable length, or of course the PoE switch is bound to restricted to its power budget. Maybe you want to add another EGS switch to give more power budget, and then at the end you still need only 1 EWS switch to manage 20 access points, but maybe for the extension in a logistic way, you can also extend to the EGS switches. So this kind of setup is typically used in small offices, cafes, restaurants, and small schools. So talking about this advanced setup, yeah, you can use you can make bigger cells, what you call cells, with management up to 50 access points using the high-end management switches in the series. And like I said, you can extend the network with EGS PoE switches, which is a PoE switch without the controller module inside, and yeah, you can use it to extend the network locally, and you can use the fiber connections between them. So these deployments are typically used in multi-building sites like schools and offices, factories, yeah, to facilitate up to say 1,000 clients. 50 access point times 20, 1,000 clients. So far for the scalability. Next function, mobility. In standalone, you have to configure the access point 1 by 1. And you have to log into each individual AP, and then you have to configure every access point 1 by 1. And you're connected to the user interface of the access point, and you do the direct configuration. So using a Neutron switch, you can locally manage your network from a central place. You log into the Neutron interface, and from there you configure and manage the access points. Also, the Neutron switch will do active management, like I explained before, and still, but at this moment, the deployment is still inside one place, so you have no management from outside. if you are using EasyMaster, the story becomes bigger. With EasyMaster, you can manage you have the cross subnet manageability. So the EasyMaster needs to run on a system, and you log into the EasyMaster user interface. From this interface, you can manage local access points. And because of the cross subnet capability, you can also do the management to another subnet remotely. It can be done through a switch, but even without the EWS switch, you can still do the management. The management of the EasyMaster is even more active and includes redundancy functions, more active than if you only use the switch, because you have more system resources, and the EasyMaster has a few features extra to make the management of the active management of the network even more active. So when using the EasyMaster, you will become more powerful in your managed network. And the big difference between if you only use a switch, then the high-end switches can do 50 access point management, and the EasyMaster can do up to 1000 access point management. I just like to emphasize one more thing here, is that it does not matter where the EasyMaster is, as long as the EasyMaster and the access point are connected over the internet. You can just manage the access points either with switch or without switch. And if you have the EasyMaster on a different place, you can still manage the same access points from another place. So you might now think that, okay, James, you say you can also manage the access point without the switch, so I don't need the switch anymore. Well, that's not. It's possible. You can set up maybe 2 access points and use the EasyMaster software to manage the access point. This is definitely possible. But supposedly, the EasyMaster is not to replace the Neutron switches, because you have to imagine that the Neutron switches is already your switch backbone. It's already your PoE power source. So initially, it's not to replace, and the function is to make the solution more complete and more powerful, since you are using a real PC to do all the management and especially the active management functions. But some features are to be executed through a switch or in a combination with the switch. So you can manage the access point without the switch, but you will not have all the features available. So in the next presentation, we will go more into deep in all the features and the differences between the only Neutron hardware, or if you want to use the EasyMaster on top of it. But in this slide, I just want to summarize here that additional features of the EasyMaster. The most important thing is that you have the management, the cross subnet management feature, and the management up to 1000 access points, and captive portal. On the other hand, there are some functions like intelligent troubleshooting, PoE switch management functions to turn on and turn off PoE. That are functions that has to be done by the switch. So it can be done, but the most efficient way of our Neutron solution is to work with EasyMaster and the Neutron switches, and then you also have the smart sync redundancy to back up the EasyMaster or back up so that the EasyMaster can back up the switch and vice versa. Okay. The third point in our 4 points of key features of EasyMaster or the Neutron series powered by EasyMaster is affordability. And the most important feature is that we only let you pay for the hardware. Anything else around that, licenses, subscriptions, and upgrades for firmware, maintenance, support, that we provide you as a free service. And even from a small deployment, I have a few examples here. Even starting from small deployment, you can already save on the investment cost. And you only pay for the hardware, and like I said, our management switch is an all-in-one solution, so you only have to buy one switch and an access point, and the switch is already your controller. The switch is already your PoE device. So in this case, yeah, the configuration is less complicated and you need to buy less components. So in this example, if you want to have 8 access points with EnGenius, you only need to buy one switch that powers up and manage all these 8 access points already. And if you have another brand, you maybe need to have one controller and another PoE switch, because the controller is separate from the switch, from the PoE switch, and then you need to buy the access points. So in the smallest deployment, you can already save some money here. If you have a bigger deployment, for bigger brands, you probably need to buy additional licenses. And for EnGenius, you can manage the 1000 access points with our EasyMaster for free. Another example, you still need to upgrade many licenses here. So as we have scalability, mobility, affordability, and last one is reliability. Like I explained, does the EasyMaster replace the switch? I say no, because if you want to benefit this feature that the EasyMaster can back up the management function together, you can use the EasyMaster and the switch to back up each other in the management function. We call this smart sync redundancy. So normally, I just want to explain quickly here, normally all switches and access points are managed by the EasyMaster, centrally managed by the EasyMaster. And if you enable the smart sync feature in EWS, the switch makes EasyMaster be able to sync necessary data to the device. So, as explained, EasyMaster can be on internet, and maybe you have an internet dropout, or maybe you have, I don't know, a lightning strike the server to be down. You have no internet. Anyways, the connection is lost. If the EasyMaster disconnects from the network, the Neutron Switch stores logs and statistics from the access point, and then when the connection with the EasyMaster is back again, it will back up again. Meanwhile, all the access points are still functional normally, and users can still monitor the access points with the EWS interface. So like I said, after the internet will be back, the EasyMaster switch will release its management, and on the downstream access points, and the logs and the statistic data will go synchronized to the EasyMaster back to become up to date. So, target market. I already mentioned it before in one of the other slides, but I just like to point out again, EasyMaster Neutron solution powered by EasyMaster. The solution is designed for small deployments where you want to cater 20 to 1000 clients through 50 access points. And if you talk about the Neutron series, this is the scale, 20 to 1000 clients through 50 access points in one place. Okay, and if you are using EasyMaster on top of that, you can manage more of this 50 APs deployments from a central place. So who would we like to buy this product, this solution? And I can very well imagine that this has to be deployed by installers. And I think because of the easiness and the simpleness of our Neutron solution powered by EasyMaster, this same installer should install the hardware, and it should even do the configuration for the customer. Even it should do the remote troubleshooting in case there is any problem, or if in case there is some changes in the network to be done, and also for the maintenance, or even maybe the customer is extending. So this kind of customer is our customer. This guy can be a one-man company or a small company driving around in his van and maybe with 1 or 2 persons. And like I said, it has to be able to do the hardware installation and the setup. And especially with EasyMaster, you can give the management wireless solution as a service. So that we come to the next slide, which is one of my last slide in the explaining part. And I'm happy to show you this slide because many of the customers that I talk to confirm me the same target deployment. And especially with EasyMaster on top of the Neutron solution, in this case, an installer can provide the management as a service to customer. With hosting EasyMaster for remote customers in their own office. So I make a remark here, EasyMaster, you can set up separate projects. For instance, if you have a few customers, you can still have one server running EasyMaster in your office, and you can give the management service for different customers where they have an EWS switch to set up their network as a backbone and also the PoE power. But still, you have done the installation hardware, but you can keep maintaining your contact with the customer, or with at least with the network, to maintain the management as a service. And this is actually the key thing of our Neutron solution powered by EasyMaster. Okay, so last thing in this presentation is I just want to go through the product lineup as we have it currently, and there might be a few updates in this product lineup since I did a previous version of this presentation like half a year ago. Oh, the other side. As we said, we have our the Neutron series is based on our management switch, and we have different models. We have most of them are 19-inch, and all the 19-inch models are capable to manage 50 access points. As pointing out here, the only difference of these 3 big full 19-inch switches is the power budget, and of course the quantity of ports. Actually, these are the same 24 ports, but just a higher budget, and these have 48 ports with even higher budget. Then we have our smaller switch with capability to manage up to 20 access points with a power budget of 130 watts on AF and AT. And this month we will receive our even entry level switch with 8 ports, 61 watts on AF, with the capability to manage 20 access points. And this only emphasize again the scalability of our solution. You can start with an EWS 2110 for the management of 20 access points. You can start with a few access points on top of that, powered through AF. And if you want to extend, as long as you are inside this 20 access point capability, you can still use this management switch, but you can extend it by other PoE switches just to extend the network for power and ports. The outdoor devices that are currently available. Outdoor devices are all our outdoor devices currently come with the 11AC standard to meet future network standards, to be ready, especially now that you only need to invest now for the next coming 5 to 10 years. And just a small remark here. EnGenius is one of the first vendors to supply 11AC outdoor access points, and our 860 model is one of the first 11AC net access points in the market that have this. Quickly go through these features here. If you look at these devices, the 860 has external antennas, which are removable, so you can replace it with other antennas. And of course, these antennas are omnidirectional. But yeah, this one is IP68, so it's quite a high IP rating here. The EWS 660, actually it's 660 and 650. The difference between these two is that the streams are different. This one is 3T3R and this one is 2T2R. But I like to mention here that even though it looks like the antenna is like a directional antenna, it actually is not. It has a omnidirectional patch antenna, which is simulating like an omnidirectional antenna pattern. So this is something that's important, that you don't confuse it to be a directional antenna, but it is definitely an omnidirectional antenna. Okay. For the indoor devices, we have actually two series, which is the standard ceiling mounts. This is the lineup of the ceiling mounts with two variations in 11AC, two variations in normal dual band without 11AC, and we have a new model here on a single band, because we used to have the 210 model, which is based on the 310 but only single band. But we have now the EWS 300, which is a more cost-efficient model if you compare to the 210. The footprint is smaller, so it's a little bit more affordable, just to make the scalability more wider in our lineup of access points. The last indoor series that we have is also a new product that we are currently in a phase of launching, and this is our indoor wireless management wall plate access point. And to be honest, yesterday I was in a hotel somewhere in the Mediterranean, and I had on my desk in my hotel, I had a wired router, I had a telephone with one telephone connected to the wall plug, and this wired router was also connected to I think it was even a DSL connection or something, and I had a wireless connection from an access point in the hallway somewhere, and even the TV was connected by cable, and I had a dumb refrigerator in just a normal refrigerator as my minibar in my hotel room. Okay, this device, the EWS 500 series, as we call, supposedly is to integrate the whole situation that I just described, that I have a access point that give me, first of all, a switch where I can connect wired devices for most optimal wire connection. It has a wireless access point to give me wireless in my room, and for the rest, capability to connect my hotel telephone or anything else, maybe my refrigerator, because nowadays you have many of the smart refrigerators that the reception can already see if you took out one drink, and the television of the hotel. So this kind of access point, I just want to show you, maybe this drawing is better to see. So this is what I just explained here. In one device, press here, in one device, I have the capability to connect wired connection to my smart minibar, IPTV, wired client, and maybe VoIP telephone. But if I don't use VoIP telephone, I can use my pass-through button. Oh, one sec. I can use my pass-through connection to connect to my native PBX. All managed by an EWS switch. So the whole situation that I explained, that I was in a hotel yesterday, it can be all integrated into one system. And at the end, of course, I can put my access point inside this device, which is actually, in this case, since we are doing the wireless, and to give the wireless only for my hotel room, small radio, to give the wireless connections to my iPad and to my notebook and my telephone. So, so this concept is one of the latest products that we are working on. And just to go back to the lineup here, we will have two versions for based on a single radio, 2.4 access point, or a dual radio with 2.4 and 5 gigahertz variation here, just to be ready for the future. So far for the product lineup, and I think this is the last slide of my presentation for today. So again, today I managed to not talk too much and stay within 1 hour. If you have any questions, I prefer you to post them to my email, webinar@engeniusnetworks.eu, and I will try to answer them as soon as possible. And if there are, there's my email here, webinar@engeniusnetworks.eu. If there are interesting questions, I would also share to other customers. After this webinar, I will send you the slides, PDF version of this presentation to you guys, so you have a reference of this. So for today, this was the webinar, and like I explained before, this is the first out of 3 webinars dedicated to the EWS Neutron solution. And the next webinar will be in hands-on, where we will go through the interface for both the Neutron Switch. But actually, I want to be focused more on the EasyMaster. We just go through the whole feature, the interface of EasyMaster. And the third webinar, the webinar after this, so the third one, will go in depth to all the features and how to deploy them. So please check your email, because we will send you an invitation for the next webinar. Actually, the previous invitation already includes a link to register to the next presentation, and there you can already register. But anyways, we will send you another invitation for this. So please register for the future webinars if you think this is interesting. I think there is a lot of business opportunity with our Neutron solution powered by EasyMaster, and I really hope that you can benefit of this and be a part of our EnGenius solution here. So thank you very much, everyone, and please register for future webinars. So keep in mind, any questions, please send it to webinar@EnGenius Networks, and I will answer you as soon as possible. I will leave this window open for a while so you can write down my email address, and I hope to see you soon. Thank you very much.